Breaking news, a 3-year...
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even do the intro. Good evening, chat. Hey, welcome in, everybody. I'm just catching up on this story, and I like to listen to Nancy Grace all the time. Miss Alita, welcome in. Nikki Benz, welcome in. I'm doing good. Happy Thursday to you guys. So I'm just catching up, and I'm just trying to follow up on all these stories, and this was one of them. And I actually found an article that I had wanted to read as well too, but I'm gonna get into her video as well. Yeah, Nancy Grace is she the truth.
Old little girl Genesis Reid missing from Enterprise, Alabama. Enterprise, where is that? Enterprise is near Cody. It is near Op. I'm trying to give you a good connection. It's along the Panhandle, veering toward Florida. A 3-year-old little girl missing, Genesis Reid. Not only that, Jacob Pritchett, an autistic boy just 11 years old, is missing out of Brooklyn. His mom says he never existed. Really? Then why do you have his name tattooed on your body, woman? Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Straight out to Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter. I want to start with the little 3-year-old girl, Genesis Reid, out of Enterprise, Alabama. First of all, where's Enterprise? Explain. I'm sure you'll do a better job than I did.
Well, actually, it's you mentioned the Panhandle of Florida. If you're going from the beach, like Panama City Beach, to Montgomery, Alabama, it's a halfway point. Very southern part of Alabama, northern Florida, in that general vicinity. Enterprise, Alabama, not a big city, but you mentioned Op and other areas. It's called the Wiregrass area in the state. But Nancy, we have a 3-year-old.
So Enterprise is like one of those small town areas, like one of those small knit areas. Is that pretty much where it is? Is what he's trying to describe it as?
Okay, that mom says she woke up at 3:00 in the morning. Her toddler is gone and the front door is open. We've heard this before in other stories. I don't know what her mother, Adrienne Reid, expects us to believe, but she claims in a 911 call that she woke up, baby's missing. Now, she said that she wasn't in her bed, but other reports are that Adrienne slept with Genesis in the same bed. So we've got to get that squared away. But right now, Genesis Reid missing at 3 years old.
Enterprise, Alabama police desperately searching for Genesis Nova Reid, turning 3 next month. The toddler reported missing Monday when her mom wakes in the early morning hours to find Genesis's bed empty and the front door open. Neighbors fear Genesis missing longer, having last seen her more than a month ago. Genesis, light-skinned African-American with black hair and brown eyes, 2 feet 5 inches tall, 30 pounds, last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas. Anyone with info, call Enterprise PD at 334-347-2222.
Now joining us, in addition to Dave Mack from Crime Stories, a real expert in...
There's a lot wrong with that. A toddler just disappearing at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm gonna keep going.
People. It's Brian Fitzgibbons. He is Director of Operations, USPA Nationwide Security. He leads a team of investigators that go worldwide trying to find missing people. He is at uspasecurity.com. Brian, thank you for being with us. Brian, I don't like it. It stinks. You know why it stinks? For many reasons. But first of all, neighbors state they have not seen Genesis Reid in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the most concerning piece here. And neighbors have also reported that they would consistently see the mother with Genesis. So prior to a month ago, they're seeing them all the time. And now that she's reported missing, we learned that they haven't seen her in over a month. One thing that did jump off the page here, this isn't like a house that she walked out of. This is an apartment building where a complex where you've got a number of neighbors, not a huge wooded area near it. There's a lot of houses and residences all around Apache Drive. So it's very unlikely that this was a wandered off into the woods scenario.
The mother stated that when she woke up this morning at 3 a.m., that's when she noted the child was missing. We have not stopped since 3 a.m. this morning. During the morning hours, we completed a number of searches of the area in close proximity to the residents here.
That is Captain Billy Haglund joining us from Enterprise, and that's from our friends at Wiregrass Daily News. Back to the facts. To Dave Mack, I understand that she was last seen wearing Minnie Mouse PJs.
Well, that's the story that we're being given. But the reality, Nancy, is that Genesis had a regular routine with her mom.
Hold on, I'm gonna read this comment. Nikki Ben said the mom's mom, Genesis' grandma, texted dad February 4th or something and said she is missing and she is putting a report out. And they didn't report it until the 17th in a made-up story. Wow. The dad lives 3 hours away and hasn't seen or heard from her since Christmas. Are you serious? And he's been trying to see her. They kept giving him the runaround until he said, I'm coming out there. And then they reported her missing all of a sudden. Wow. This is crazy.
Would walk around the apartment complex. It was a regular thing, walking every day. Family and friends around there had other children playing with Genesis. And all of a sudden, around Christmas time, it stopped. They haven't seen Genesis and Adrian, her mother, walking around the apartment complex together. And when they were questioned, we're talking about people who live with them in the same apartment complex. And I don't want to say anything bad. She's a friend of mine, but I haven't seen this child since Christmas. So reporting her missing now, we're talking 6 or 8 weeks, Nancy.
You know, you're right. There are neighbors that state they have not seen Genesis since Christmas. Others put it at a few weeks, but I think I can understand the discrepancy there. Neighbors that associate with the mom and the baby, maybe next door neighbors or little playmate moms, see her more often and would realize she's been missing for longer. So,
and I was about to say that she may have been missing for longer than what they're saying, actually, and that's the crazy part. And I saw that too, Nikki. In the People article that I got pulled up, what you just said, I saw that too. I'm gonna read that one as well.
I noticed another discrepancy, and I want to ask you about that. Dave Mack, some reports state the mom noticed she was missing when she went to go check in her bed and Genesis's bed. Other reports say they slept together. What do we know?
Well, we know exactly that we're getting 2 separate stories about where this child sleeps. And again, a 3-year-old that normally sleeps with mom, and maybe that's the truth of the matter. But again, we're getting both these stories from mom, Nancy. So which one do you want to believe? That she had her own bed she slept in, or she regularly sleeps with mom? Because she's told both stories so far, apparently.
This little girl, Fitzgibbons, is not even 3 years old, much like Kaylee Anthony, the daughter of tot mom Casey Anthony, not quite 3 years old. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so I want to share something. In a lot of our cases that we work with children under the age of 5, okay, it's very likely going to have something to do with a custody issue, okay? And something jumps out to me in this story, that law enforcement is not currently requesting any major search effort or help from the public, okay? So what that indicates to me is that there's an investigation going on. Where was Genesis? Did she travel anywhere with her mother around Christmas time? Who were they with? And could she be staying there with a friend or a family member as a part of a greater custody battle? So, you know, that's a point of hope for the public here, and a point of hope for Genesis, that could be the case.
Well, let me ask you this along those same lines, Brian Fitzgibbons. What does it tell you that the FBI has been brought in the search for Genesis? Maybe cross state lines for custody issues?
Correct. Yeah, cross state lines, and you have to understand the FBI can be called in to assist. They're going to have greater resources, tracking cell phones and things like that. So the local law enforcement enterprise.
You said the mom is currently. Yeah, I saw that too, Nikki. Yep, I know about that. Welcome in, Shay.
May have well just called them in.
And we've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, literally standing outside with the police. It's 4 o'clock this morning. Ain't nobody went to sleep. Ain't nobody went, and we all been standing out here waiting.
Neighbors say Genesis is a familiar face, seen walking with her mom on Apache Drive almost daily up until about a month ago, when Adrian suddenly stops the practice. Vanessa Marana, whose daughter frequently plays with Genesis, says she hasn't seen the toddler since Christmas. Another neighbor says he runs into Adrian shopping alone on Valentine's Day. When he asks where her daughter is, Adrian replies, "I don't know," and abruptly walks away.
I ain't seen that baby since Christmas, but that's my friend, so I would never, go against what she's saying. My biggest concern is getting that baby home.
That from our friends at WDHN. Okay, I can't tell you how devastating the blow will be if Genesis has been missing since Christmas. That's according to her neighbors. So, Brian Fitzgibbons, we've lost a lot of time if that's true. And, in some jurisdictions, not reporting your child missing is, in fact, a crime.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. And, investigators, when you see State Bureau of Investigation, FBI, along with the local law enforcement involved here, I'm going to guarantee you that answers are going to come here for Genesis. They're going to be downloading all sorts of communication.
So would it already be, Nikki, would it already be like a 60-day head start? I would know it's definitely more than 30 days is what they're saying. They're saying since Christmas.
Location data for the mother to try to unwind the last time they were indeed together.
The last time we have seen her, about a month ago, she used to walk up and down the road with this child and everything, and now all of a sudden now the child is seen.
We're trying to get a timeline and would appreciate that information. We haven't necessarily stated that Genesis has been missing for 30 days, but that's what we're asking everybody is to provide that information.
That from our friends at Wiregrass Daily News and WDHN. To you, Dave Mack, who is this mysterious Mariah that police are now looking for?
That's a name that apparently was given by Adrian to law enforcement, just a name. I remember you mentioned Top Mom a few minutes.
Now we have a person of interest or a name she's giving, somebody named Mariah. Let me see what she said. So some people reported seeing her in January. Police have not made a confirmed timeline yet. It's been a good at least 30 days. She's had time to clean up her mess she did. Wow. But maybe even longer. They have no actual timeline except Christmas when she was with her dad. Yeah.
Ago. Remember how she said that she dropped off?
Please don't say Zenaida Gonzalez. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, sadly I was, but
now I've got Mariah.
Yes.
Okay. Again, I believe the person you're referring to as Adrian by their first name would be Genesis' mother, Adrian Reid. Okay. We're trying to learn more about this little missing girl. We know that it was, in fact, Mom who called 911.
Genesis's mom, who neighbors identify as Adrian Reid, calls 911 at 3 a.m. Monday morning, explaining she woke to find her toddler missing from her bed and the front door to their home at Meadowbrook Apartments wide open. Enterprise police descend on the complex, backed by Coffee County sheriffs, state investigators, and local fire departments. Investigators search the immediate area for the little girl. By 3 p.m., FBI agents join the search.
Okay, so Mariah could be a made-up person as of right now, is what you're saying. Got you. Okay.
If you know or think you know anything about the disappearance of this little 2-year-old girl, almost 3, please dial Enterprise PD 334-347-2222, 334-347-2222. And now we go across the country to the Bronx in the search for an 11-year-old autistic.
Okay, so I'm swing back to that one as well. Oh, thank you, Nikki, for confirming that for me. Appreciate you. I got one more video I want to share, then I'm gonna read this news article. Hold on one second. Shout out to the Strange Bar and Grill. Hold on.
Small apartment complex in a quiet Alabama town. You've seen the same little girl dozens of times, walking the parking lot with her mother, waving at you, playing outside. She's tiny, barely past 2 years old, big brown eyes, black hair, and full of energy. And then one day, she's just gone. Not gone as in moved away, not gone as in visiting grandma, just gone. Weeks pass. You don't see her. You ask her mother about her. The mother walks away without answering. Strange, right? More weeks pass. And then, at 3 o'clock in the morning, weeks after anyone last laid eyes on that little girl, the mother finally picks up the phone and calls the police. She says her daughter disappeared from her bed, mysteriously. Her name was Genesis Nova Reid. She was just 2 years old. She was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas. And as of today, nobody knows where she is. Hello, strangers. Welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. I'm your host, JP. Tonight, we're going to be talking about one of the most heartbreaking and most suspicious missing child cases to come out of Alabama in years. Now, the story's brand new. It broke on February 16th of 2026, and it's already raising serious red flags. And it has an entire community, hell, the whole internet asking.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can skip past this intro.
Just 2 years old, turning 3 in March of 2026. She lived with her mother, a woman named Adrienne Reid, in a place called the Meadowbrook Apartments in Enterprise, Alabama, a small city in Coffee County in the southern part of the state. Enterprise is best known for having a monument to a bug, the boll weevil, right in the middle of downtown. It's a small, tight-knit community, the kind of place where neighbors know each other, where you notice things. And the neighbors at Meadowbrook, they noticed.
And I said that too. That's what Enterprise. It looked like it's a small knit community too.
Genesis. By all accounts, she was a bright, outgoing little girl, the kind of toddler who lights up a room, the kind of kid the neighbors recognize on sight because she and her mother took walks around the parking lot.
Somebody knows something. Then, if that's a small knit community, somebody either seen or heard knows something.
Together. She'd play outside. She'd be visible. She was a little person with a very big presence in that small.
These stories is kind of like taking its toll on me as well too. I might take a break after a while for like a couple weeks.
Small community. So people recognized her. And then quietly, somewhere around Christmas of 2025, she disappeared from view. Not from the news, not from police reports. Nobody was calling 911. Nobody filed a missing person report. She just stopped being seen, stopped taking those walks, stopped playing outside, stopped playing with her friends, just stopped being around altogether. And life went on for weeks. Now, fast forward to the early hours of Monday on February 16th.
Hold on a second. Oh, appreciate that, Shay's Creation. Thank you so much. And what up, though?
Of 2026. It's 3 in the morning. Most of Enterprise is asleep. At a house on Apache Drive, Adrienne picks up her phone and calls the Enterprise Police Department. Her story? She went to check on her daughter, Genesis, and the little girl was not in her bed. A door to the apartment was open. Genesis was gone. Officers responded immediately. They searched the apartment. They searched the area around the complex. They found nothing. By that afternoon, the Enterprise Police Department issued what's...
I wasn't saying I was going away permanently, but you know, I do need like a mental break every once in a while. And I'm talking about that case too next, Nikki, the Gabrielle Terrellange. Yep, I was supposed to do that one as well too.
Called a BOLO, which stands for Be on the Lookout. They described Genesis as a black female toddler, about 2 feet 5 inches tall, weighing somewhere
I was
between
gonna do that one next
25
week.
and 30 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas. Now here's the first thing that made people raise their eyebrows. When police put out that BOLO, they asked the public to report any sightings of Genesis from the past 30 days. Not the past 24 hours, not the past week, 30 days. So think about what that means. Police were already being told or suspected that this child may not have been seen by anyone since well before that 3 a.m. phone call. That simple choice of words told an entire community that something was very wrong. Later that afternoon at a press conference, Enterprise Police Captain Billy Hagland faced cameras and reporters. He looked exhausted. He'd been out searching all day, and he made a decision that shocked a lot of people in that community. He did not call for public search parties. I don't think we're at a point right now to have mass search parties, he said. Now, that is not a normal thing to say when a 2-year-old goes missing, which makes you think, does he know something, or is he not doing his job? What do you think? In a typical case, when a toddler wanders away in the night, you want as many eyes as possible searching fields, ditches, wooded areas, etc. You welcome the public. You beg for help. Captain Hagland didn't do that. And folks who were paying close attention understood why. The police didn't think Genesis had wandered off at all. Now, while police were investigating, the neighbors of Meadowbrook Apartments were talking, and what they had to say sent chills down the spines of everyone following that case. Neighbor after neighbor came forward with the same story. They had not seen Genesis.
So as far as the mother, appreciate that, Nikki. As far as the mother, what do we know about her? Is there any men in her life, owe any debts or anything like that? Anyone's aware of? Have the neighbors seen any guys around, or they don't know that yet?
In weeks. One neighbor said she and her child used to play with Genesis regularly. She hadn't seen the little girl since Christmas, nearly 2 months before the missing person report. Another group of neighbors told local reporter Jacqueline Lambert from WTVY that they hadn't seen Genesis since early January of 2026, more than 6 weeks before the call to police. But the most chilling account came from a man named Tyler McGowan. Tyler told WDHN News that he ran into Adrienne Reid, Genesis's mother, at a store on February 14th, Valentine's Day, just 2 days before she reported her daughter missing. He said Genesis and her mother were always together. So naturally, when he saw Adrienne alone, he asked, "Where's your daughter?" Adrienne Reid looked at him and said, "I don't know." And then she
See, that right there I would find very, very suspect as well. Nikki said, okay, so the mother has other children. The son is like 11 or 13. Don't quote me on his age. He moved himself out to a Hispanic family in the same area because he said there was never food in the house. Allegedly, she was selling all of her food stamps. Oh, wow. Damn.
just walked away. Strange, right? Tyler McGowan wasn't the only one who got a strange response. Another neighbor said he casually asked Adrienne about Genesis on Saturday, February 15th, the day before the missing person call, and she avoided the question entirely. So let's put that together. On February 14th, the mother of a missing 2-year-old says, "I don't know where her daughter is," and says nothing else. And then the next day, on February 15th, she avoids the question again completely. And then on February 16th at 3 a.m, she finally calls police. Why did she wait? What changed? What happened in those days between "I don't know" and that 3 a.m. phone call? Nobody knows. But I'm guessing is she's getting all these people asking where her daughter is, that she says, "Hey, I need to go ahead and report this now because people are asking too many questions and they're onto me." Allegedly. Again, I don't know. I'm speculating here. Within hours of the missing person report going out, this case exploded into a full-scale investigation. The Enterprise Police Department called in Coffee County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Scott Byrd offered his helicopter. The Alabama State Bureau of Investigation, the state's top investigative agency, got involved. And then the big one, the FBI showed up on the scene by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on February 16th. The FBI does not show up to help search for a toddler who wandered away from home. Their presence told investigators and the public alike that this was already being treated as a potential crime. Local district attorney James Tarbox stepped in too. He made a statement that quietly said everything. He noted that finding Genesis was the top priority, but acknowledged there could be more to the story. That's basically lawyer speak for, we think something criminal happened here. Police were also asking about someone new, a woman with the single name, Moriah. During questioning, Adrian Reid apparently mentioned this woman's name briefly. Police Chief Michael Moore described her at a press conference as a Black female who could sometimes be found at a bar called Levels Bar and Grill on Delville Avenue in Enterprise. She also had possible connections to the town of Ozark and an area called Level Plains, both nearby communities. Police called her an alleged family friend and made a direct public plea. If Moriah or anyone who knows her has any information about Genesis or Adrian Reid, call us immediately. As of the time this episode was recorded, Moriah had not been publicly identified. But who is she? What does she know? Was she involved? Or is Adrian just trying to throw her under the bus so she don't get in trouble? Those are the questions that we need answers to.
Yeah, like, is there a last name, a social media, an email, a phone number, some type of contact information, a picture, or something?
The next morning, on February 17th, 2026, Police Chief Michael Moore held another press conference.
Hold on, let me read. She said, the son was at the search, and I don't know if he has mental issues. He was laughing a lot, though. It was strange. But neighbors said he used to always be outside asking for food, so he ended up just moving into someone else's place in the same complex. And allegedly, she told her son it's almost over, which no one knew exactly what she meant by that. Wow. I think she had something to do with it. I feel like she did.
He confirmed that Adrian Reid was being held at the police station, saying it was partly to keep her safe. That afternoon, at around 4:15 in the evening, Enterprise Police made it official. Adrian Reid was charged with false reporting to law enforcement, a Class C felony under Alabama law. She was held without bond. Now, I'm going to just stop right there because a Class C felony is not the most serious kind of felony. In Alabama, most people charged with a Class C felony are given some kind of bond. They pay money, they go home, they wait for a trial. Adrian Reid was given no bond at all. Local reporters noted immediately that this was highly unusual. WTVY said flat out that the no bond hold may indicate she is suspected of foul play in the case. Police, for their part, made another very interesting distinction. When asked about the family, Captain Hagelin confirmed that Genesis's father and other relatives were cooperating fully with the investigation. However, he did not say the same thing about the mother, Adrian Reid. Now, while all this is going on, a voice from the family emerged, Vivian Reid. She's believed to be Genesis's grandmother, and she made an emotional public statement. She pleaded with anyone who might have the child to come forward. And she said something that has stayed with people following this case. She stated Genesis was not given willingly. Not please return our missing child, not whoever has her bring her home. She said she was not given willingly. That phrase to me suggests the grandmother believes Genesis was taken or handed over to someone against the family's wishes. And that's bizarre to me because she would have either know something or Adrian may have told her something. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about that one.
Yeah, they both know. She knows something. For her to make that kind of statement.
Now we're going to do something that we do sometimes here at Strange Bar and Grill. We're going to walk through some possibilities, some theories. We're going to explore what may have happened. Not to accuse anyone and not to say we know what happened because we obviously don't. But Genesis has not been found.
So I'm going to pause at that part and I'm going to share this article. Hold on. Oh, it's a video in the article. Okay, so it says authorities may be forced to decide murder charge if missing girl isn't found. Coffee County authorities said Coffee County authorities could charge Adrian Reid with murder even if they don't find her daughter's body, though it would be challenging to obtain a conviction without that key piece of evidence. Why is that? Why is that? Challenging but not impossible is what it says. In fact, it happened only a few years ago in the same county. In 2018, Coffee County prosecutors used a plethora of circumstantial evidence to sway jurors to return a guilty verdict against Malcolm Hunter, though searchers never found the body of his estranged girlfriend. Their success rested on two key elements: convincing jurors that Ayanna Smith was dead and that Hunter, beyond a reasonable doubt, was the one who killed her. Okay. In neighboring Covington County, a girl who disappeared nearly 30 years ago has never been found. While authorities won't confirm a suspect, it is generally believed they have one, but without a body, no charges have been filed. In the current case, Reid, 33, has not been publicly identified as a murder suspect as authorities continue to search for her missing 2-year-old daughter, who her mother claimed crawled out of her bed and walked out the door in the early morning darkness. What the hell? That don't even sound like something. What the fuck? Neighbors believe and an investigator suspect that little Genesis Reid had been gone long before then, and authorities were so convinced Reid lied to police that they charged her without making false reports to law enforcement. I can't believe I just read some shit like that. She is jailed after Coffee County District Attorney James Tarbucks convinced a judge to place her under a $1 million cash bond on a charge that generally would have no higher than $15,000 posted and would result in little, if any, prison time. Okay. I mean, they probably know she has something to do with it then. If they were to give her that kind of a bond on the charge that would not really stick. While Tarbucks won't read a murder suspect, his actions suggest he believes otherwise. Knowing that a high bond won't hold up forever, Tarbucks, as hopes of finding Genesis Dim, must decide whether he'll file murder charges if her body isn't found and whether he can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the girl is unalive and her mother, Adrian Reid, unalived her. Wow. You said the grandma knows something. She was outside during the search talking crap to people. I think she waited till trash went out and she cleaned up her dirt to report her. Oh, wow. Hold on.
We have some new developments emerging from Coffee County after Judge Josh Wilson ruled that Adrian Reid, the mother of a missing toddler, almost certainly will remain in jail. News 4's Jacqueline Lambert reports from Enterprise with the details from an afternoon press briefing.
A $1 million bond accomplishes exactly what District Attorney James Tarbucks intended, keeping Adrian Reid behind bars until the truth emerges.
During the hearing, Judge Wilson heard testimony from an Enterprise Police Department detective regarding facts and circumstances related to the current investigation into the disappearance of Genesis Reid. Based on the testimony, the state argued that Adrian Reid is the only known suspect in the disappearance of Genesis Reid. Adrian Reid has hidden and or destroyed evidence relevant to this case, and Adrian Reid is a flight risk should she be released from custody.
Reid was charged after she made false reports about the disappearance of her 2-year-old Genesis. The mother claims the toddler mysteriously vanished from their home early Monday, although investigators suspect the child may have vanished weeks ago. Police deployed cadaver dogs on day 3 during their frantic and frustrating search, but found nothing to help them locate Genesis.
It's searched from the wooded area to drainage. Look anywhere that the dog gave any type of notification or positive ID that could be something there. There's a lot of things, nuances.
Hey, welcome in, Carlin Harris.
places of interest that the dog hit on, but that doesn't mean that we found any evidence.
As worry worsens in the Enterprise community, Mayor William Bill Cooper backed Police Chief Michael Moore in reminding the public to focus on what's most important.
The thing is that if you're not involved, stay out of the way.
Oh shit, my bad. It was damn. I had to exit out of the video. Hold on 1 second. I can't believe I read what she said. Like I'm still lost at how she reported what she reported. The mother I'm speaking about. All right, hold on.
Circumstances surrounding the disappearance of a 3-year-old girl in Enterprise. Witnesses on the scene claiming the girl hasn't been seen in weeks.
WDHN's Robert Smith is live in Enterprise with the latest on the investigation. Rob, what can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, Joe and Jess, I'm here in Enterprise where law enforcement has been searching for well over 10 hours looking for the missing 3-year-old. And right now, this case is still pretty active. Since before daybreak, law enforcement and concerned neighbors have been searching for the whereabouts of 2.5 to 3-year-old Genesis Nova Reid.
And we've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, literally standing outside with the police. 4 o'clock this morning, ain't nobody went to sleep, ain't nobody went, and we all been standing out here waiting. That's our biggest concern, man, finding this baby home, bringing her home safely.
Law enforcement officials say the child was reported missing from Meadowbrook Apartments on Apache Drive by her mother Monday morning. She noticed Genesis was not in her bed and the door was open. She was last seen wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas.
During the morning hours, we completed a number of searches of the area.
Well, her inconsistent stories does put her as a #1 suspect because she told 2 different stories of that, 2 different versions of that story.
In close proximity to the residents here, we are trying to leave no stone unturned. Unfortunately, we all want results now, but it does take time to get these things.
Coffee County, Enterprise, and the State Bureau investigation are helping with the search. Although Genesis' disappearance was reported Monday morning, some neighbors say they haven't laid eyes on her at all this year.
She like my niece, and I'm really into her. Like, her mama bring her up there every day with me. Like, I ain't seen that baby since Christmas, but that's my friend, so I would never, go against what she say. I'm thinking like, hey, my friend trying to get her stuff together, and, that's where the baby at. But my biggest concern is getting that baby home.
Another neighbor who wished to remain anonymous says she saw the child this year, but it's been well over 3 weeks ago.
The last time we have seen her, about a month ago, she used to walk up and down the road with this child and everything. And now all of a sudden now the child is missing.
Another neighbor on the scene told us how he ran into the mother at the store last weekend on Valentine's Day. And when he casually asked where is Genesis, who is normally with her, he says the mother responded, "I don't know," and walked off.
We're trying to get a timeline and would appreciate that information. We haven't necessarily stated that Genesis has been missing for 30 days, but that's what we're asking everybody is to provide that information.
My bad.
But law enforcement were in the woods looking and just searching to see if there was any kind of evidence relating to this case. Now, law enforcement
Hey, what's up,
did
Tiff?
put out a be on the lookout for Genesis earlier today. They say right now they are not requesting any massive search groups to look for her, but they are encouraging people, if you have any information regarding this case or her whereabouts that could lead to her whereabouts, please contact the Enterprise Police Department. We're live in Enterprise tonight. Robert Smith, WDHN News for the Wiregrass.
All right, that was just a news clip. Hey, what's up, Kim? Happy Thursday to you. Yeah, I asked that too, Carlin Henry, because that's where I went with the first suspect is, who was involved in the mom's life. You know, did the neighbor see any guys, or did she have a boyfriend, or an on and off, you know, friend with benefits type of thing? Um, so it's nothing new yet. It's a lot of conspiracy theories, but I don't want to go off of those type of. I don't like to play those type of things on and whatever. So I was trying to see something. I was trying to see if I could find one on a grandmother. She told that friend her daughter was gone. She needed time to get herself together. Man, yeah. Carla Henry said, right, that's very important. Yeah. The police know that, and the police know that themselves. They know to ask who's been involved, but they never mentioned it. But I still feel like it's should be asked or questioned, you know. Don't know. They said possibly the mom uses drugs. That's why I would say, like, who she like, was there a man involved in her life, or did she owe anybody a debt? That's what my first thought was when I heard of it, because I'm like, it's one of those two or something else. But generally, as far as, you know, somebody's going missing, you're gonna ask who's the men involved in the female's life, or did she owe anybody? Nikki said, haven't heard of a boyfriend yet. Okay, got you. Appreciate you. Did I see the mattress? No, I didn't. I've been watching this for the last couple of days. The Daisha girl has a video of the police pulling up over the Mariah chick and searching her car. Ooh, I gotta see that. If you got a video link, I want to check it out. They said the mattress had nothing to do with Genesis. They didn't even take it as evidence. What did they collect? Let me see. That was going around on the internet. It's fake or false. Oh, okay. I'm about to see if I can find some video. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I couldn't find anything. That wasn't Mariah they pulled over, but it was a friend of hers. Okay. That mattress had lots of blood on it. Oh, wow. Mariah has not been identified yet. Yeah, she hasn't. That's just the name that the mom is given. Hey, what's going on, Gigi? That's stupid with all that blood on the mattress. You would think they would check that. Yeah. Is there a video of that? Where y'all seeing that at? Hold on. And they said she's been missing since Christmas. Yeah, that's what I'm about to play. Nikki. All right, so we're about to play one of these press conferences. I think it's I think I played it's probably a part 2 to this. Yeah, I'm about to play one right now. And I just saw something in regards to her name like 2 minutes ago, but I'm gonna share it after I play this press conference because I when we was just talking a few seconds ago, I'm gonna share it with y'all in a minute after I get done playing this press conference. Oh, okay, y'all said Facebook. I don't be on Facebook. I'm a nerd. I don't be on Facebook.
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF spaces with AI do? Do your marketing needs in one spot. An AI assistant? Show me what you got. AI breakdowns on trend report.
I had to skip these ads, y'all.
Possible avenue in our efforts to bring resolution to this case. This includes ongoing witness interviews as well as detailed analysis of electronic devices and surveillance footage. Our commitment to locating Genesis and bring her home remains unwavering. If you have any information about Genesis, or you have Genesis, now is the time to come forward. Our investigators are methodically reviewing every lead. If you're involved in this case and choose not to come forward, be assured that we will identify you and pursue prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. I do want to address misinformation again. Fortunately, we have to keep coming back to this, that has circulated within the community. The individual who resides in the same area as Genesis has been allegedly called Mariah, but is not the Mariah we are seeking. That individual has been fully cooperative with investigators, is considered a witness in this matter and not a suspect. We ask the public to refrain from speculation and to allow innocent individuals to go about their lives.
Kim, I ain't know y'all can hear me typing. My bad, y'all. Y'all gotta let me. I'm gonna mute myself because I ain't know y'all can hear me. My bad.
Without harassment. Tomorrow evening, community members will host a candlelight vigil in honor of Genesis. The vigil will be held at Bates Memorial Field on East Watts Avenue beginning at 7 p.m. This gathering is intended to unite our community in hope, prayer, and collective resolve as we continue working to bring Genesis home. Organizers respectfully ask these attendees come in the proper spirit of unity and reflection and bring only a light source, nothing else. We encourage everyone to join together in support of Genesis and our community's endeavor to bring her home safely. This will also conclude our daily press conferences of updates. The investigation has moved into a more lengthy phase, and we have no idea when we'll have a more substantial update for our community. However, rest assured, the minute we have a full follow-up of importance, we will let our community know.
Okay. So you mentioned this point in the investigation. Is it at the point where you all have scaled back the search?
We have not scaled back the search. Please don't listen to it. We have not scaled back the search. It is more into the methodical chasing every lead.
She's still in jail, Carla Henry.
Throughout the weekend. Again, some things that we do, we check it off to say that we've done it, and we know that that's not where she's at. So that takes time, that takes effort, that takes nights and days and days and nights, and that's where we're at right now.
Speaking of, searching, you all do some more searching today, and if so, what was some areas you all maybe looked at today?
I believe mostly today is prepping for our game plan of the future activity or future investigations and activity. So today was more setback of, okay, we've done what we can here. What else can we do? Again, this is going through the weekend. Some things that we have planned take planning because we have to get other resources from throughout the state and southeast region. Again, I can't reiterate. I know a lot of people lost sleep. We certainly have. Investigators have, and that's a part of it too. Sometimes we have to reset and take on a minimal standard so we can continue for the long run.
Chief, I'd seen that there was going to be a vigil on the city hall steps. Is that the same one you're talking about?
It is.
It has been moved. So
It
there's
is.
no vigil on the city
No
hall.
vigil here at the city hall is, of course, because of our community. It has grown to
Right.
a large number, and the city has gracefully allowed these organizers to use Bates Memorial to do this, so we can have more of a community pour out.
You mentioned that loss of sleep, and of course, you all are dedicated to the facts of this case, but there has to be an emotional component. Do you talk about the emotions of this case for you personally?
It's probably not the time to do it. It's very, very emotional. All of us, just about 90% of us have kids, and either they're older, some of us are expecting our first grandbaby, and it's tough. So lack of sleep, emotional trauma, it gets to you. So yes, we're all feeling it, and we just want our home.
Is the search plan only limited to here in this area or Wiregrass area?
He breaking apart too, this police chief. You can hear it in his voice.
Or is it you maybe plan to maybe look other places?
We will search anywhere leads take us. So if a lead gives us North Alabama, we have crews and we have teams and we have full support of the whole state of Alabama, law enforcement agencies, private agencies, FBI, U.S. Marshals, fire departments throughout the state, rescue squads throughout the state. Anybody that would help us, we have support. We just need the leads of where we can go next.
Speaking of that, that all of those efforts from people across the state, you mentioned, earlier we learned about the billboards and the Alabama Cold Case Advocacy Group that does work throughout the state. Talk about how important it is to place those billboards in such high travel areas where there's always so many people coming to and from Enterprise in those areas.
Right. So sometimes leads, again, stem from kids being kids, right? They need to eat. They like to play.
I will say we do need to bring back billboards, how we used to do back in the day, or how I used to have them back in the day. We need more of them, more opportunities to have them, more space to have them.
They like toys. They like getting out. So somebody may have seen the kid. That's why it's important to put the face out as much as you possibly can, as far as you can. So everybody can go, hey, I think I've seen that kid. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes, children look like other children. I mean, my daughters looked exactly the same and they're 2 years apart, But it may be that one time. It may be that one time that we see her at McDonald's in Tennessee or in Georgia or in Mississippi or something that we go, that may be her. So those billboards are, priceless to get the people, especially outside the area.
Mr. Tarbox, we're not at that point, I don't believe, but if we do get to the point where Genesis is not found, would you pursue murder charges against Ms. Reid as your predecessor did a few years ago here with a case where a body was not found?
So I anticipated that you were going to ask this question or it would be coming up. I've seen some coverage from different outlets. the fact of the matter is this: every investigation is different. Right now, we are solely focused on bringing Genesis home. That does not mean that our office has not discussed, if X happens, we need to be prepared to do this. If Y happens, we need to be prepared to do this. We would not be doing our jobs advising law enforcement in this investigation if we weren't prepared for potential eventualities. With that being said, I can't comment on what we would do because this investigation is not over. We have talked this whole time. It is more important to do things right and get it right than it is to rush into making decisions and rush to conclusions because we might miss something. And so when it comes to that analysis, there are significant factors that go into any charging decision, whether it be a Class C misdemeanor all the way up to murder, like you say, a Class A felony. And wherever the facts take us based on the investigation, we will go there. But it is far too early for us to speculate as to what is going to happen at the end of this. Are we prepared to provide that analysis at the proper time based upon what this investigation reveals? Yes, but we are not there yet. And we are hoping that Genesis is going to come home. We're hoping that our community is going to come together tomorrow night at the vigil. And we are all still very hopeful for a happy ending to this, and that Genesis is just with somebody. And as Chief indicated, if you have her, the time to come forward is now. If you fail to cooperate, these investigators are going to find you, and we will prosecute you.
How much cooperation have you had from the mother?
We can't discuss that at this time, as you know, as has been previously mentioned by Chief Moore. What we were told by her, we do not believe to be true based upon the investigation, and that is why she has been charged, and that is why she is in the Coffee County Jail. So that's all I want to say on that, because we don't want to we can't discuss the facts of what we have uncovered more so than we have already done. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so that was as of today. Hold on, because it's another article I want to read. So they're having a candlelight visual for Friday, February 20th as well. I just saw a news article of that. Hold on, here we go. So this is as of today. It says no new updates have come after teams expanded their search for 2-year-old Genesis Nova Reid on Thursday. The search has expanded throughout the Enterprise area, with teams searching wooded areas around the city and the Coffee County landfill. The search grid was initially confined to the streets, sewers, and wooded areas around Meadowbrook Apartments on Apache Drive earlier this week. Enterprise Police Chief Michael Moore said that as of Thursday afternoon, there had been no new developments in the search for Genesis. According to Chief Moore, investigators have been analyzing electronic devices and surveillance footage for leads, but did not go into detail. So they got some devices, some phones, and some cameras. They didn't say whose, though. I'm assuming the mother's would be one of them. It also reads, Chief Moore and District Attorney James Tarbox has issued a plea and warning to anyone direct knowledge of Genesis whereabouts or who has Genesis. If you have any information about Genesis, or if you have Genesis, now is the time to come forward, Chief Moore said during a press conference. Our investigators are methodically reviewing every lead. If you are involved in this case and choose not to come forward, be assured that we will identify you and pursue prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. It goes on to say, the chief also said that the search and investigation have entered a lengthy phase, but searches in the area will not be scaled back, and investigators will work throughout the weekend and beyond. Daily press conferences regarding the case will end, and conferences will be held only if police have substantial updates to provide. Okay. But how long would that be though? Or how long until the, if they're not, it says law enforcement is still asking for any tips and leads to be sent to the Enterprise Police Department. Okay, that concludes that end. You can contact the Enterprise Police Department at this number right here, guys, that I highlighted at the bottom. Let me. So that's the end of that one. Give me a second. That was the mother. I don't know. Yeah. So the mother is still locked up behind bars on $1 million bond, as she should be. I think they should go ahead and charge her with murder. I don't think they need to procrastinate any longer or delay it any longer. And the grandmother too, because she knows some things. They both know some things. All right, but that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to share that story. And there is on Friday, February 20th, they will be having a vigil for her as well. I don't know if it's going to be televised or not, but that's what the news article just read, or just indicated that I just read at the bottom of it. But I'm going to try to get more information and get some updates as well too. I'm going to continue following this story because this is sad. And I appreciate everybody that's watching and that's stuck in here and, with this story with me. If you can don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment. You guys have a good one. I will be back with more updates to this story.